a public service announcement. I just want to make sure that people following us too on social media.
Go ahead.
So it's the Conscious Party on Facebook. You can follow us there, and on Instagram it's just Conscious Party.
Right.
So we always have some interesting stuff that we're posting up on the page that we want you guys to in on as well. And I think, are we live now?
Yes.
Finally. All right, now we're live
on Facebook.
Yes, all have us live on Facebook, so make sure you are on her page at Miss Monroe. Oh, I got it wrong. Spell it in.
You got to follow me on. That would be on the government.
Yeah, the government.
It's the government.
Oh,
not the government. It's on the government.
What?
So you all know how to follow me on the government.
See. Also on YouTube.
Okay, YouTube then. Why you streaming live? Okay, IDX Radio on YouTube. You can see we got 4 cameras. We still got 4 cameras.
We still got
4 cameras. 4 cameras for your eyeballs.
We got the full house now.
Yes, everybody is in the crib. I said the crib like this.
Right, everybody up in the house. In his ass.
Yo, but yes, we're in here. I just wanted to put that out there. So sorry. Go right ahead, sir. What was the topic?
Okay. Now, ladies, in the week that was out of town, I asked a couple simple questions and got a whole bunch of hard answers back. But my question, just fellas, I don't want to hear nothing from y'all until after the break, is simply this: do clothes make the man? Do clothes make the man? Or better yet, I asked 2 questions. It was clothes and name. Okay, I'm gonna ask that one.
It was the name.
The name. That's the one I got. Got ate up on. Okay, so my thing is this because no, actually whatever. So does the name right? Right, but since we only got time for one of the questions before the break, I'm gonna go straight to name because I work in clothes, and to me, it changes that. It makes the person. It changes how people perceive you and everything. So, in kind, does what someone call you change the way they perceive you? So now, the reason I said that is because, and where I was trying to go with this is because we call each other the N-word all the time. You know, thank you. But
you talking about the word nigga? You know the word nigga.
I love when you specify.
Good Lord. Anyway, we say that, and we say that we've reclaimed reclaimed the word, and we're saying it affectionately, and he's this and he's that.
No, it's not affectionate when we say it.
No,
that's what you is.
No, because somebody's like that's my boo. And she said that's my boo.
Some people use it as a term of
some people leave it.
Okay, you're right.
That's fine.
Wait. This is for the fellas. This is for the fellas because, and the reason I say that is because when this is the way I look at it, and I'm gonna break it down, and then I'm gonna let you answer. Because when you with your friends, and your friends call you Dap. Dap is a totally different person than DeJuan Paxton. Okay, and whatever your wife calls you is a totally different person than either Dap or that person. You know, so and this is what resonates. When I was a child in the street doing something wrong, and my mother came to the door and called me by my government. That was because she was calling forward that person that she named, that she took her time to name, that she finessed this name for 9 months, and she knew what it meant to her and what she wanted that person to be. And so I don't care who you are in the street, when she comes to that door and calls you by your name, you rise to that standard. And that's just my opinion. But the ladies did not agree with me. I just need some help or some input so that I can see different.
Wait.
You had your turn.
Yeah, I did.
Fellas.
They chewed me up.
Fellas time.
We got it on tape.
Fellas time.
I'm eating the Snickers.
I'm gonna, okay, well, I'll go ahead and chime in. So I agree with you to a certain extent. You know, I don't really deal in the whole realm of other people's perceptions of me. So it's kind of hard for me. But I do think that in the whole situation with like Dap and DeJuan, that's because I'm a Gemini and it's just two of me anyway. It's multiple. You know, it's just that just comes with the package.
Bipolar.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say
Bipolar.
bipolar, but very interesting. I would say very interesting. So there's Dap, there's Dwayne. That is very two distinct personalities. Then there's that nigga Dap. That's what my wife called me. That nigga Dap, especially when I'm putting it down. So,
Okay.
but that's another story.
Helpline.
That nigga that.
I'm trying to get these callers in. No. So yeah, no. Like names are very serious to me, and so this is something that I went through with my son when he was, coming into this world. I spent a lot of time trying to pick out a name for him, and so it was important to me how it sounded. It was important to me what it meant, and it was important to me how he responded to the name as well. So he came out. He didn't have a name for 7 days. He was Baby Paxton for 7 days because I was testing out these names on him to see what he responded to, and he responded to Khalil, and that was it. When he responded to Khalil, I knew that was who he is. That's what I'm gonna name him, and it has a meaning.
Okay.
It means good friend of God. So his full name, I won't put that out there, but we decided that was the best name for him. So now, we're doing something similar now with names.
Oh, what you trying to tell us?
I'm not trying to tell you anything. I'm just trying to tell you that names.
Misty, please.
So
give us a call at 678-688-IBNS.
So names are important. So we're going through the same thing because we talked about this. Words have a certain vibration. And
Sounds like you're agreeing with me.
I am agreeing with you. I am agreeing with you. Yeah. It's the intention, it's the meaning, it's everything behind it, how it sounds, how it feels, all that stuff matters. So yeah,
Right.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Bernard?
Now, I kind of agree with him now, but he's going a little deeper than I did with names when it comes to children, my kids. I gave all my sons, I have 3 sons, so I gave them names that wouldn't mark them. I didn't want them to be stereotyped.
Right.
On that. So all the names I gave, but not only that, they all have names that mean something to me and to someone. All right. For my oldest son, his name is Raymond, and we gave him a name after one of my wife's cousins that she was real close to. My second son, he's named after me. All right, he's the second. And believe it or not, but so funny though that he looks exactly like me. My oldest looks like his mama, and he looks exactly like me. And my youngest son, his name is Chris. He's named after my best friend and my brother.
Wow.
So it's Christopher Warren. So he has names as the best friend of my brother. So even with the grandchildren, they also have names that represent something, with the 5 of my grandchildren. Each name that they have represents them to someone in the family or someone that means something to someone else in the family.
You paying libations. You're
Yeah.
paying back respect. for
Exactly,
those-
exactly.
Right.
And
Yeah.
hate to say it, when
there
he
she
said
It's not your turn yet.
it is, when he said that
Let's
the
reclaim our
name
time. Now we're going to
makes the
commercial.
person. My name is Joy.
What's that mean?
My name makes me.
What
So
that-
You are
yes,
joyful and bubbly. And
I'm
I don't get it.
Felicia.
I love joy.
just saying,
How long
like-
I've been telling you my joy?
Yes. So when he said that, I was like, yeah, because if you gonna call me Pookie, I'm gonna be extra Pookie.
if you go call
Okay.
me man,
Right, and that's what I'm saying.
Superman.
Because that's what I'm saying. Because
Great.
at least with me, I don't call any of my nephews, especially, by a nickname. I don't care what name they have in the street.
Me too.
I call them by their names, and the reason that I do that is because I want them to rise to that standard when they're around me. I want them not just around me, but to realize who they are. I think it resonates. As I said, I was raised up and around my older aunts and uncles, and I looked at them a certain way. So when I look at my nephews, I want to reflect the same image that I got when I was younger. So I make sure that I don't call them by nicknames because I'm not trying to see them on that level, honestly. I mean, I know you have that life, but at the same time, this is the person that I want to bring to the table. I need to speak to that person, I need to, when I'm speaking to you, I need to make sure I'm resonating with that entity, that part of your mind that wants to be fed and learned and nurtured. Man, He just want to hang in the street. You know, somebody else just want to, you know, you want to.
So I got to give you the side eye, Sean.
I got a cousin.
Why you giving me the side?
Because why you be calling me by my nickname, dude?
What are you
Because
talking about?
because
how you
Mimi
introduce
is
yourself.
affectionate.
You want to know
I got
this?
He
no,
called me
What's
by
the
my
name
nickname.
that you first learned?
No, but seriously, but even Dr. Trotter over here is a
Let me
different
ask the
person than
question.
Mimi.
Was that when y'all met each other? What name did you give him?
The first name she gave me was Mimi.
Okay, so listen, perfect
But that-
example.
but that's who I met.
Let me
It's-
tell you,
it's-
no,
it's
let me.
association.
It's
Right.
association as well because I know a friend. Not gonna tell their real name, but
Do I know?
no, it's a guy.
Ray.
His first name is his first name was a government name. It was like Ronald.
Okay.
Okay, just say his name was Ronald.
I just-
So then he became famous
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, and he decided to tell me, call me
Such-
MC
And you were
Bubblicious
like,
Fish Eyes.
No, Ron.
Bubblicious.
Bubblicious.
I'm just, and I said, Ronald.
Ronald, be serious.
I know. Ronald used to take my park card to the Clark cafeteria
See,
and eat lunch.
But even still,
Don't come to me talk about call me MC Bubblicious Fat Dog.
but you,
Your name
but
is
you,
Ronald.
but you understood that Ronald was a different person.
No,
than,
I got where he was
Okay.
coming from. They
Then
can
it's a
call you
persona.
that.
It's a persona.
It's a
that goes
persona at
along
that
with
point, but
Right.
and that's what he's saying with the man thing.
Yeah.
So I can understand when you come out there and it's like, oh no,
Well, see, here's the other thing about it too, right? Because it all goes back to association. Even with the names that you're given by your parents, that you know, like you were saying about, it's still association. Like you have a certain association with those names that you gave your sons,
Right.
And you pass that along to them. So now the only way that they know the importance of their name is because you told them
Right.
what that is, right? So when people get their nicknames, there's a story that comes along with how they got that nickname.
I
And it's
understand
always, this is how I was behaving when they started
Right.
calling me this.
Right.
And so then you have to be that every time they call, because now, you know, it's an
And
expectation.
that's the expectation.
However, here's the flip side to it, right?
Oh.
Everyone has the ability to push themselves beyond
A nickname.
whatever their name is. Even if you're named after the man who raped your mama.
oh God,
You know what I'm
Jesus
saying?
Christ.
And you got to carry that name.
You went kind of far.
I know. I was just trying to get some attention, but you
got
know what I'm
it,
saying.
you got
Like, but even if
That was
whatever the situation is, you
I
know what I'm
know.
saying. You're named after some stuff that you're not too proud of, and it's your actual name. You can rise above that.
Understand.
You know what I mean?
Understand.
Or I don't even want to say rise above. You can
define.
You can define yourself, and see, and that's the thing that I want people to really understand. You know, is
Okay.
that you are empowered to define who you're gonna be, what that name means to you, and how you're gonna use that name. So even though like that's my nickname. Everybody asked me, you asked me today how I got that nickname. I would never tell how I got that nickname. You know what I'm saying?
I asked your mama. She told me.
She don't know because she wasn't around. So,
Damn.
she don't even know. So, hey, ma. But but you know, and there's not. But I still have the power to define what that means to me,
Right.
And how I go about presenting that individual or that persona or whatever it is. You know,
Facet of your character.
right? Because some people have names. You know, like you were saying, there's a stigma. Like my son's name is Khalil.
Right.
It's Islamic. It's very, you know, it's a Muslim name. You know, we're not Muslim, but I like the name.
Yeah.
So when people see that name, even Dewan, people know I'm black when they see Dewan.
Dewan, right.
Either they think I'm black or they think I'm like Hispanic or something
Hey.
like that.
I think the Paxton throwing
I was
off.
about to say,
Yeah, because the Paxton
What is it? What is it?
yeah.
Yeah, right.
But look, just like my name is Joy, and I'm really bringing pain.
That's it. I'm done.
You do bring
I-
back-
You know what though? I'm gonna
On
say
that
this.
note.
Wait, no. Let me say.
Go
You
on.
know,
Here.
Because you've been
I
quiet.
have been quiet. My
Yes,
nickname, for those who don't know it, don't call me by that name unless you ask me. It's Mimi. But I got the name because I was a very fat baby. I was very fat. I
It
was
was
very
two of
fat.
her. Me.
Yes, I was a very fat baby. And my dad used to call me meat.
Oh,
They
my
used to call me meat. 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 And they just dropped the at off. As I got older, they dropped the at off. But for those who don't know it, and don't call me by my government name either, my proper name is Demetrius. but most people cannot pronounce Demetrius.
Really?
So yes, it's Demetrius.
What
It's
most
not
people-
Dimitri.
look,
It's not
what
Demetrius.
most
It's
people-
Demetrius. No, both. So you know, my thing is right. So they have difficulty, but my friends have always called me Mimi.
Right.
But there is no negative stigma with that nickname. It's a name of endearment and an affection. That's why I'm very particular about people calling me by that name. It's reserved for people who are close to me that I went to school with. You know, I went to the School of the Nerds, and we always say that. I went to IC Norcom High School in Portsmouth, Virginia. So even if your name was Man and you went to IC Norcom High School, you still had to be average, and you was either athlete or musician in the band, and you went somewhere because of the school. So, you know, that name didn't have anything to do with anything. So unlike other people who may have gotten named some kind of crazy way, I didn't have that. So my nickname doesn't have a negative connotation with it. Nor does the name Autumn Monroe, which is really dope when I looked it up. Autumn and Monroe are really dope. Nor is Demetrius. So anyway, all right. We
Now,
can
with my
break.
kids, I gave all of my. Matter of fact, I give nicknames to just about everyone.
Okay.
Because it's just I like to address them in a common way. You know what I mean?
Familiar.
Familiar, you know,
Familiar too.
right, exactly. So they can understand the difference.
But
you know?
riddle me this: when they do something wrong,
Oh, they get that name.
they get that government.
Don't let. I give all the whole name.
Keontae James Simpson.
Right, because at that point you are calling that person,
That
to
person.
the carpet. I want you all to remain conscious and think about what we just said. So does the name really change
Hey,
who
Sir
you are
Lisa.
and how you act? So think about that. You know, just something I just wanted to drop in the bucket. And if you really wanted to say something on it, I still have a blog spot. So go to SharonCRobinson.blogspot. It's still up there. You can leave a comment up there as well. And until then, remember, you control the narrative. Just stay woke.
Hey, y'all.
And down.
Just call my name.
This is a song right here, boy.
Hey, what's up, kid?
We talk about names.
You know that.
Call my name.
I did that on
We're
purpose.
ready.
Thank you,
Please,
Gina.
please.
Hey, Marsha.
Come running.
Hey, Jennifer.
This is Autumn.
Oh,
Hey,
This
Stars.
is
Joy. Gotcha.
How y'all doing? I just got off a plane from New York, so I was a little late. So I do apologize for that. Y'all know I had to go check on Grandma.
You didn't see,
If you all haven't
Did
watched,
you hear men?
what is it, Dexter Jackson's Guide to Dating? Let me tell you something. I watched it while I was at Nana House.
Q, what's up, man?
And you forget that they little micro mini,
Did you let your grandma
but
watch
they,
it?
but they are so funny.
You should let her watch
Oh my God.
I watched it with my
Oh my God.
I'm not working on it, though.
Yeah, it's really funny. So make sure y'all go out to Amazon, and if you got Prime, it's free. It's Dexter Jackson's Guide to Dating. Hilarious, hilarious. And put y'all on show.
In the loop.
Hey, Q, make sure you check me out. Dexter Jackson's Guide to Dating on Amazon, right? Go to Amazon Prime. You can download the app to your phone or your iPad. Watch
gonna be
it
like, Sean, I didn't
absolutely
invite
free.
you
If you got
tonight.
it on TV, you can watch it
Kids
for free.
spend the
on
night.
TV. Share it with all your
Like,
friends. I'm telling you, it's
Clean it
absolutely funny.
I'm like,
Off
yeah,
the
got it
chain.
right here. Look.
Y'all come on.
Dexter
I
Jackson's
unlocked the
Guide
back
to
door
Dating.
already.
I think I look better
Okay,
with my
so-
glasses, without my glasses.
Couple of things, couple of things.
Yes, ma'am.
So because
I'm about to cry over here.
I done been to the house,
Frog.
and
Fully relying on God.
my favorite character is Missy. I didn't know she was an actor. Hilarious.
See,
Okay.
didn't I say the same thing?
Hilarious. But there's a continuity issue.
Oh my
When
goodness.
he, I'm
You
sorry.
talking about the car?
No.
Oh.
When you open the door, you can see the wedding photo of them.
Uh,
So what I so wait This is what I thought
I
was
didn't
gonna
even pull
happen.
it back and
This
look
was
at that.
this is what I thought was gonna happen. I thought because I saw the wedding photo right there with her in it, I thought you were gonna do like a double take and be like, what the fuck? Because no, I really thought you was gonna be like, how in the hell did she get this picture?
okay,
You see what I'm
I
saying?
get what you're on that.
Oh
Yeah.
my God,
Uh-huh.
that would be
Yeah. That
so
would've been
the
funny.
wedding.
Yeah.
Do it next year. Though.
That's what I. That's
Do it
what
in
I,
season two.
but that's-
I didn't even know
that's
it was
what I
there.
thought was gonna. When he opened the door
No,
for
I
his
saw the
friend,
picture,
and I
right.
saw the picture.
I was like, look at us all married and shit.
When I
And
saw
she's
that,
still
I
stalking her.
thought, right? I thought he was gonna be like, what? Because, you know, they do stuff like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I
Put
really
us
thought
together.
that he was going to like, what the
Start sending you
or,
notes and
or that
printouts.
y'all was going to have her hanging the picture up when you walk in. And
Oh,
see her.
walk and see the right.
Yeah.
That would be funny. Then,
You know what I'm
right?
saying? I just put that out.
She like, oops.
Yeah.
Right.
She like, oops.
Because you didn't see. You
And
see,
slowly
she's
put it.
still-
Look,
but you see
slowly
she's
put it
still
back in her
around,
purse.
though. When she came up in the chair,
In the car,
car.
right? Yeah.
So if she's going in there and you see him catching her with the picture, that handles that. I'm just saying.
I was laughing too hard.
But her,
When she went by with the Fred,
Yeah.
with the
That-
Flintstone, I was done.
and then you don't realize they're like 7-8 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
You be so caught up
Going
in
up
what's
into
going
it, right?
on.
You don't realize it, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And his little.
Right, that. He do that for real. I was like, he wasn't even acting no
That
more.
is so him. Oh my God.
When you got mad at
When you be throwing your little temper tantrum.
a little 2-second tantrum. Now back to myself.
No. When Misty walked past
That,
Right.
that's when I fell out laughing. I was like, oh my God.
When she walked.
The little Fred Flintstone tiptoe.
Oh my God.
I
When
was
she
done.
walked. Okay.
I think my favorite part in that is when he was out on the first date.
Oh,
And he realized
and
it
the
was man,
dude.
and he got to running. I thought that was just too funny because I'm saying that's probably what I would have
When he
did.
peeked around the corner, I was like, why are you standing there so long? You figured it out when you saw her standing up. The first date.
Yeah,
I was
the
like,
first date.
when you saw her standing up, I was like, okay.
No, my thing is that he kept talking about that 1%.
Yeah, right. That's that 1%, right?
He kept
I
talking
thought
about
that's the
1%.
1%.
That was hilarious that he kept trying to figure out what that 1%
That was
was.
that was Bruce Jenner.
But when y'all speeding him up running.
That was Bruce
Oh
Jenner.
my God.
You ain't gotta see the series.
No.
Go to
When the
Amazon
ghetto
Prime.
girl was like, one thing you not gonna do is,
Yeah.
and then when her eyes was closed, I was like, oh my gosh.
And I
I
haven't
Yeah.
learned
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
I
without
went
the
to
kids
But
in
what
the
you
car.
like, I can't even say
Right,
it
I
like
got
this.
what you-
Real,
yeah. Yeah, I watched all of it.
When the lady was talking about the church, she said, there's a new strip club.
What?
I cannot. With the ghetto girl in the park.
Oh. Here, hold my drink and don't try to drink none either.
No.
I know you
she was
looking
like,
thirsty.
What you not gonna do? And then she closed her eyes and such a this, that, and that. And I'm like, ooh. Oh, it was good. But y'all gotta bring Misty back.
Oh, yeah.
Fatima is yes. She gotta be a constant.
It's
For
constant.
yourself.
Hilarious.
Song. Is this the skate version?
Nah, this is the real lady version.
It's the long, it's the
This
extended.
is the real lady
I'm
version.
Okay,
gonna
can I
be
have some
right here for
bars?
you.
And I'll take one for You done had 20. Give me my sticker spot back.
Any Twix over there? 'Cause that's I just like Twix and like Twix.
You gonna tell the whole world that you like Twix.
I guess Joy just wanted to bring us back.
Live and
Okay,
I
it's
thought you were
happy
like
Halloween,
Joy,
everybody.
you know
Joy
what I'm
is in
saying?
here.
Nah,
Y'all-
other
y'all-
than that,
Y'all started off talking about my Snickers, and Joy is face deep in the bucket over there. So I'm not worried. I got some Snickers for you. But before the break, we were talking about controlling the narrative and being more than your name, or making people respect the name that you have and what you're called. So regardless of what people call you, regardless of what people call you, the only name that matters is that which you resonate with. So with all of that being said, I just want to get into now our interview. All right, so we are joined tonight by Bernard McCoy, who is a cast member on the show, the Dexter Jackson's Guide to Dating. I don't know
And
why I
I
want
just
to
figured
twist
out
that show
he's the
around.
daddy.
It is now available on Amazon Prime.
He the daddy.
He's the father.
I'm the parent.
He's the pappy.
He the
He is the
daddy.
porno watching pappy.
Yeah, right.
Married to the evangelical wife. I don't understand the matching, but together they created Dexter Jackson, who is our own, who is our own Dap Paxton. So I'm going to start off with Autumn, who is stuffing her face. This is Halloween, so y'all gonna hear us chewing. But anyway, I'm gonna start off with Autumn, and because she watched the show, she binge watched all 6 episodes. And I'm going to allow you to start off this interview with your questions as to, what's going on, how they get to this point. And we're interviewing one of our own, Dap Paxton and Bernard McCoy. So enlighten us.
How did you come up with the had to put a daddy because he is hilarious.
I just played myself. No.
Oh my! I'm calling your kids.
I wear them shorts every Saturday.
Right.
They were the worst.
Oh my God. But the father is so funny. He's just so, he's so
You
funny.
just got to keep it real. You know what I mean?
He
Yeah, I appreciate that.
He was funny without trying to be funny. It's
Yes.
like it's like every delivery was serious, but you knew it was a line in there. And I'm like, look, you just you're like, you gotta do that.
And that was the whole idea of the character. You didn't want to be fake with it. You know what I mean? You want somebody that you can actually relate to, because everybody's got that drunk uncle or that pervert person. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has one in the family. You know what I mean? And they don't mean to be like that. It's just how they are.
That's who they
You
are.
know what I mean? Because I know I had an uncle like that. That would wear shorts with dress shoes no matter where he went. You know what I'm saying? So I took a part of that, you know, along with a little bit of Meet the Browns and so forth, you know, man, just put it all together, you know, man, and coordinate. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that it came right. Yeah, right? And what would better work, you know, than like Fred and Lucy, you know what I mean? You got two opposites. You know?
Right.
The religious wife and
That was
is just like off the hook, you know what I'm saying?
I had to rewind and say, did they just say?
But he respects his wife because she was like, I didn't think so. She said something and you didn't respond back.
Yeah.
And you knew not to say nothing back to her.
Because you know how you women are. I got that lip that
Yeah,
cut you deep.
And he kept that screen turned only to him.
Yeah.
I was waiting to see what he was watching. I could hear it. I was trying to see if it was something I'd seen before.
Yeah, I was
sitting there and I saw it.
Oh, wait a minute, that was real? All right. Now, that both of you. Now, Bernard, how long have you been acting?
Actually, I started really back when I was in high school.
Okay.
It was just small production, and then a few plays, church plays, you know, in between then, but nothing too serious.
Okay.
Because I wanted to wait until after my kids were grown and so forth. So once, you know, they are grown, and now I can do the things I want to do. So I got actually a friend of mine. I was just telling Dap about the story. A friend of mine named Mark Greenwald, real good guy and whatnot. And we met, and I was telling him I wanted to be into acting, and it's something I really wanted to do and so forth. So he was like, "Well, I'm not going to do it for you." That's his idea. He says, "Well, all you need is a headshot and resume. You get me that, and we'll go from there." And I didn't hear nothing else from him for, you know, for about a month, and then I finally saw him. I gave my information and so forth. And then he said, "Okay, cool." I showed him that I was serious because he wasn't going to do it for me. You know, you said if you do this, and this, then I tell you what's next. You know what I mean? And I did just that, and then I got my first role on Meet the Browns.
Wonderful.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
It was an extra role, but it was my first television show, and that was about 7 years ago.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it was Meet the Browns, Meet the Patient, and that was a featured extra.
Okay.
Big money.
Yeah, right.
And again, give us your social media.
That's Bernard McCoy on Facebook. Instagram is Actor Bernard. Twitter is Bernard McCoy, MCKOY. And then you can go to BernardMcCoy.com.
Okay. And did you and Dap know each other before?
No,
it's our first time meeting.
on set.
On
Yeah.
set was our first time meeting.
I wouldn't have known it. I would have thought y'all were old friends.
See, that was the thing about the project, man. Like everybody clicked like right away. I think we had a table read, but I was late and you had to leave, so we didn't meet at the table read.
Right.
I met everybody else at the table
Okay.
read. But everybody just really connected. And if y'all just tuning in, we're talking about Dexter Jackson's Guide to Dating, which is a new web series that just launched on Amazon.com, where you can go and watch it for free.
Hilarious.
All 6 episodes are on there the entire season, so make sure you get your Dexter Jackson on.
Yes.
And we have Bernard McCoy in the house, who plays Dexter Jackson's father. And I'm actually playing Dexter Jackson. So you get to see me
In your true form.
in
Showing off taco meat.
I did show off taco meat, didn't I? Yeah, so ladies, you can get your dose of taco meat on Amazon.com.
Touching the Now, my question for you is, how did you get this role?
Yeah,
How long
man.
who did you pay?
Well,
And,
first of all, and I should have did this at first. But
thank you for
I'm remiss to do this, but shouts out to Bobby and Renee Peoples,
Absolutely.
TPN Productions, who actually created this. They wrote, produced, directed, Shot.
They did it all.
Yeah, well, Andre McDowell, he was the DP. He's super dope.
Yes,
Yeah, really dope. Good ideas, man. But everybody is really dope. The whole cast and but Bobby and Renee Peoples, they were headed to a wedding. This is the story that they told me. And so driving to this wedding, they began writing this script, and they said this is what they told me. So not to toot my own horn, but this is what they said. That the entire time they had me and
you and mine
for the role.
It seems like it was written for you.
It was a good fit. I mean, I could relate to the character. I could relate to his situation. So it wasn't it was. But this was my first time doing a comedy. And so when Bobby called me and asked, he was like, this is a comedy. Would you be interested in doing it? And I was like, yo, I mean, I'm funny in real life, but I don't know if I'm funny like on camera.
You don't know if it's gonna relate on camera.
I don't know if it's gonna be the same. Like my friends laugh at me, but I don't know if they laughing at me or with me. But whatever. So yeah, I mean that's what they that's how they created it. And they called me and asked me, and I was a little hesitant because it was comedy.
Right.
But I was like, yo, if you give me a chance, be patient with me. And it actually worked out. So super fun.
How long did it take to record the entire six series?
Yeah,
6-part series. Okay.
Oh man, how long when did we start? We started in September.
September, right?
We started in September. We finished with the top of this month.
Yeah.
October.
Wow. And it's already out there.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
They moved quick.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
I mean, the episode that we did, we filmed it in one day. One day we did episode 4 and 6.
Yeah,
oh wow.
Both those.
Yeah, both of those in one day. We wouldn't play it, I mean, you get out and get it done,
Yeah, it was.
Now, Dap, we know you've done stage play after stage play after stage play. So you're right. This is quite a bit of a take away from the characters that you've played on stage. So I commend you, sir. This shows that you are very well rounded, and this is something that is phenomenal to add to your resume because I'm still laughing.
I would disagree. You're the bomb.
Oh.
So I don't know why you would be
Hesitant.
hesitant. Yeah, because I can totally see you. I mean, it's kind of you.
Yeah,
and it's the you that I know.
Well, this is the interesting thing about how I don't talk about acting much when we're on the air.
Right.
I've been acting for a long time.
Right.
I'm an actor. That's who I am. But this character, all my characters, I take through these stages, and it's always me.
Mm-hmm.
Like every character that I develop, it's always me. It's just different aspects of me. This was I wanted it to just feel natural. Like I didn't want it to feel forced. One, because it was comedy, and I didn't want it to be contrived because people can see through that.
Right.
And so it just I don't know. I just let whatever flow through. But I did develop the character.
Right.
So it's not like I cheated. It was like I'm just gonna be dapper and get on camera. It's always work to prepare for a character.
Right.
Yeah. So it took time and some effort to really develop that. So I hope it. When I watched it, it wasn't like watching myself. It was like watching a movie, watching a TV show, and it was funny. Like I'm looking at this cracking up like I had never seen it before. Like I didn't know who these people were that was on this thing on the screen, and it was just fun to watch, man. So it was good.
Well, for those of you who don't know, we were talking about Dexter Jackson's Guide to Dating, which is now available on Amazon Prime. You can watch it for free. You can binge watch and watch all 6 episodes. We're sitting here with DeJuan Paxton, who plays Dexter Jackson, and of course Bernard McCoy, who plays his father, and Mr. Jackson, if you're nasty.
Yeah, right. So true.
Right. And we're talking about what it took to get this series that they shot in a month's time onto Amazon Prime. So again, we do control the narrative. You are able to go out there and do something with what you have and do it quickly if you know the right people. Acting since high school, and Dap won't tell us how long he's been acting, but but dreams do come true.
Long.
So we encourage everybody that's out there to just push forward with what you have envisioned yourself doing, and trust me, the doorways will open, the steps will be taken to make your dreams a reality too. But you did hit upon the producers, and I really want to talk about what's going on with their entity of TPN. If you can enlighten us, either of you enlighten us on TPN, Renee and Bobby, and what they're doing, and just shine a little light on how we can get in contact or support them as well.
You know what? I am going to see if I can get them on the line.
Okay, wonderful.
And so maybe after
we can hear their voice.
Yeah, and because they can speak to that better.
Yes, that's true.
Okay.
That's true.
They do a lot of work.
Oh, man.
They do a lot of work. The dope thing about them too, and I have to say this every single time. I'm gonna say this every single time. So if you're listening, Bobby, just know you're gonna hear this every time I'm on the radio. Bobby Peoples and Renee Peoples, they do so much for the independent film industry in Atlanta. Like they do so much. They put so many people on. They taught so many people a new trade, like a new skill, a new trade, just by learning the behind the scenes of making a film. So there are people who, are DPs now, who learned from them. There are people who are bricks and sound guys and whatever, because they put them on. I mean, not to mention the people in front of the camera too. So big ups to everything that they're doing. Thank you guys.
Yes, thank you.
And that is what is so important, to know every aspect of the media behind the camera as well as in front of it. Because again, we cannot control the narrative if we're not writing the parts, if we're not the key grips, if we're not the directors and producers. Because as an actor, we are no better than someone who has graduated with a college degree and is still looking for a job instead of creating their own. So if you can go out there and you can direct as well, if you can produce as well, if you can screenwrite, if you can start casting people in the roles that you see yourself in or you would like to see yourself in. Look at people like Shonda Rhimes. Look at people like no, but
let me say this about Bobby and Renee. They are awesome. They're awesome. They will definitely they are willing to give anybody an opportunity. They really are. You just have to open your mouth and ask. But if they give you the opportunity, don't blow it.
No.
But they will give you a chance.
Oh yeah.
And if you're an actor and you trying to do something, they will definitely, work with you. They're one of the first people when I started acting that I met. They're absolutely wonderful, and they do teach you, in front of the camera, behind the camera, whatever they have to do. They're all about getting it done and making sure that they help people within our community.
One thing I can say about Bobby and Renee also, with their work ethics, they are kind of a no nonsense, but with a flair.
Right.
And what I mean by that, though, they want people that are like family. That you can work with, have fun with, and so forth. But they want people that's serious about their work.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember Bobby mentioning one time that if I send you your size for an audition, you want to audition for one of my shows or whatever, then I send you the size a month later, all right, earlier. And then you come up a month later for your audition and you got your paper in your hand. You don't need it.
Right.
Because
you haven't done
your work. You haven't done your due diligence.
You're nice because that's committed to the project.
Exactly. And I can understand that.
Yeah.
You had a whole month to learn one page or maybe 2 lines, and you got to come to an audition holding the paper. You're not serious about what you're doing.
Diligence, period, is not.
Well, that would be that. But a point of clarity, that would be for them. If you go in for an audition with other people, take your paper. Because they see that as an insult. If you don't have even though you're off the paper, you want to have the paper in your hand when you go to the other people, because they want to make sure it doesn't matter. They still want you to have the paper in your hand.
Well,
don't be reading off no paper. You
That's
just had it
what
for a
I'm
month.
talking about. Yeah, that's what I
You
mean.
gotta understand too. There's a difference.
Right.
We're saying, usually with Bobby, they'll send those sides out well in advance.
Right.
Whereas when you're auditioning for some of these TV shows and things
It's
like that, you get those sides 2 days before you gotta do a self-tape. Yeah, you should be off. But if you have to go in, it is acceptable to have your script in your hand. So I mean, just
Well, I'm saying it's acceptable, but I'm just saying you should know it.
Yeah, you should know it. You should
You're going
definitely-
with it,
you
but
should
you're going to
definitely-
audition and read out the paper.
Yeah.
You
That's
let you know
terrible.
you're not serious.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
absolutely.
You know,
You
that's
actually
what I'm
said
saying.
Charles
That's
Barkley.
terrible. I get sides sometimes, like an hour in advance. You or
Right.
like I have gone in and done the wrong sides before, and the casting director has given me the correct sides, and within like 10 minutes or whatever, give me 10 minutes, I'll be off the paper.
Right.
But you know, DeJuan can attest. We sometimes have to like notice stuff like this. You don't have time to be having like days and this, that, and the other. You need to be able to get to do what you got to do to get it done.
Exactly.
You know, so there's no excuse to have a month.
Yes.
Child, get a month.
Today,
That's
that's
awesome.
9.7 hours, sir, to get these lines done.
Right.
Another thing that they do, though, bring it back to TVN, is they have a film festival where they feature, first-time filmmakers.
Okay.
So if you have a film that this is your first film, you have a place that you can show it and get critiqued and even maybe win some money. They actually get money. So
Right.
they actually get
They're
money.
the only ones to do that.
Yeah, they're
the only ones that pay
They-
their filmmakers.
So they split the door. You know what I mean? So it's really a labor of love for them.
And for that, they'll go
phenomenal
far.
couple. Yeah.
Well, shout out to Urban Media Makers Film Festival because they get money too.
Oh,
And
okay.
she's the oldest black film festival in Georgia.
Well, I stand corrected.
Well,
That's the homie.
I'm just proud, right? I'm proud to have met and just bumped into them at your gathering. So hopefully we can get them on the air one day too and find out more about TPN and what's going on. But in the meantime, do they have a social media? We do want to follow them as well. We want to support them. We want to let them know that we appreciate what they're doing by pushing more actors of color into the mainstream, by putting more people of color behind the scenes,
Right.
so that one day, again, as I said, we can control the narrative. We can be every aspect of the media because we can't demand roles in front of the camera if we're not behind the camera creating it. So again, we applaud TPN, we applaud Bobby and Renee Peoples. I know Renee is on Twitter as Renee Renaissance.
Renee Renaissance. I think on
Instagram.
Instagram. Bobby M Peoples
Bobby M.
on Facebook, but you guys can get all that information if you go to Dexter Jackson's Guide to Dating on
Right.
Facebook. There's a page dedicated to that, so you can keep up with what's going on with the series.
Mhm.
Which I don't think we talk about what the series is about.
That would help. A guide to dating. Go
I
ahead.
guess it's pretty self-explanatory.
Self-explanatory.
But yeah, it's about Dexter Jackson is a recently divorced brother who is back in the dating scene in Atlanta, and so this is about his adventures dating in Atlanta. And what's unique about this particular story is it comes from a black man's perspective, which
In Atlanta?
In Atlanta. So, like, when do you get a black man's perspective on anything,
anything.
in TV and film?
Let alone
Let alone dating and relationships.
Right,
So,
That should be funny.
So,
It's
ladies,
Number up.
It's
They in
funny.
Atlanta.
just go ahead and tune in because you will see exactly what it's like for
Right.
a brother to be dating.
Yeah.
You got any
It's-
transsexuals in there?
You gotta watch.
You
gotta
Why is
You
the
gotta
first
watch
question?
Right.
It's
You gotta watch.
Atlanta.
Okay. Well, they
I'm saying,
just like they
he's in,
have,
I'm
just like the
saying, I've
TV
never
show
heard anything like
with
that.
I want to say Childish Gambino, but just like his show Atlanta is out, then you also have Issa's Insecure, and they're each perspectives of basically the same situations that are going on. This is a comedic look at the same, comedic look, and
From a man's perspective.
it throws a lot of punches, but at the same time, it hits hard. It
And
hits
what's
home.
so crazy about Atlanta? What y'all got? 17-1.
I don't know. I don't keep up no more. I don't have to think about that anymore.
Thank God for you, but me being out here, I got like 16 other hoes.
Lucky
Fight
Misty.
Oh, no.
Right.
Lucky Misty.
You gotta
Lucky
fight.
Misty.
We
But
just
no, I
talking about
don't
that,
know.
right?
Actually,
Just talking about that.
I'm
I
just talking
don't
about
have to
she
fight.
said
I just
other.
was trying to make the other women word.
Feel a little better. Bam.
You know what I'm saying? But
Look.
you know, God got me.
And because God got her, I'm gonna let him get a little shine on this right now. So again, I'm gonna just ask y'all to stay woke And thanks for joining us tonight with Uncle Sean and the Conscious
Don't
Corner.
tell me you one of these Jesus is my man people.
No.
Oh, okay.
God got me. I got a man.
Right?
Look, I got a man.
Hey, Sally, what's going on, man?
I ain't never been. So God
And
got
I'm
me.
gonna have to shout out to
Sally, make sure you
Shout
check
out
out
Bobby
Dexter
and Renee. I need to be
Jackson's
one of
Guide
them
to Dating
girlfriends.
in
I
Atlanta
got to think
on
it's so
Amazon
crazy.
Prime
Like, look,
Video.
okay.
Absolutely
I wanna
free.
be a
You can
girlfriend.
download the app.
Quick shout out to my
And,
man.
watch it
I need to be
on
one of
your
them
phone,
girlfriends.
on your
honey.
tablet, or if you have it on your
But I'm
smart
telling
TV, you
you,
got Amazon on your
this
smart
needs
TV,
to
you
be
can watch
a
it right on
regular.
your TV. Absolutely
Wait
free.
till you see his
Dexter
wife.
Jackson's Guide to Dating in Atlanta on AmazonPrime.com. So check me out there, Sally. Share it with all your friends. Let them know. Go and watch it, see it. It's absolutely hilarious.
You gotta
All
watch
right?
it.
No, you gotta watch it.
He just in the kitchen.
When I saw the previews, I was
Gotta
like,
represent all my family.
Girl, it's
Lakeview in the house. Quentin
I thought
Jones,
it was
what's
a
up,
book.
baby?
I didn't know.
All my
No.
Lakeview family there. What's
Girl.
up? Trying to do it big down
Well,
in
I
Atlanta.
tell you-
I'm working on it, though. Always
Sorry,
gotta
y'all,
represent.
for
Always
that
gotta represent. You know
staring
that?
at the
Always,
wall.
always
Let me
represent.
tell you,
Big
go
blue,
out
don't
to
get the blue, don't
Amazon
spill my
and
tea.
watch Dexter Jackson's Guide to Dating. That is so funny. It's so funny. You're gonna be laid out. It's so funny. These scenarios that he go through. Them women, it's all kinds. It's all kinds. I'm gonna have to
Watch out for Pop now, though.
yeah, and the daddy. This the daddy.
Right. Dirty old man. Watch out.
He nasty. And he married to an evangelist, honey, holy woman. And
That's how they be in
he
the
just,
church.
oh my God.
What's wrong with
Y'all
that?
got to
Yeah,
see.
right.
Y'all got
Real love,
to
right?
see
Real
it.
love.
She accepts him for who she is, for who he is,
Yep.
and he accepts her for who she
And
is.
God
But you get to see the taco meat.
Opposites attract.
He had a little vest on and little taco meat be like peeking through with his little low cut thing, little taco meat peeking through.
You know I gotta show the taco meat.
Y'all know y'all want to see that taco meat. And if you don't know what the taco meat is, you need to go out to my YouTube page. It's on there. It's on there. I'm gonna have to label it taco meat so y'all will know which one it is. But yeah, go out to Amazon.com. It's on Prime. Y'all know on Prime. It's so funny. I sat there and watched the whole thing. Just like my grandmother was looking at me like I had lost my everlasting mind. Hilarious. Hilarious. If you need to have a good laugh, Dexter Jackson, Guide to Dating. Hilarious.
It is a good
Hilarious. Hilarious. Did I say hilarious? Hilarious. Yep. Not even understanding me. Hey, Robert. Hey, Sir Terica. Hey, Lynn.
So just in case.
So I'm
Hey,
trying to.
Linda, what's up, sis?
I don't even
Glad
know
you
what this
watching
thing
Deuce.
is. It say
Deuce is
invite
in
to
the house.
something.
All right, man. Keep watching, man. We're talking about Dexter Jackson's Guide to Dating, man. Gotta watch it. Pop is in the
So
house.
it say bring y'all on camera, but I don't know what that means.
Do what?
So let me see.
Big Blue.
I love you.
That's Dexter Jackson trying to sing.
You're my better half, so just in case.
I'm telling you though,
Dun-ga-dun-dun.
I need to see Misty often.
What's
Her
your?
character
I
is
got
so funny. It's so funny.
What? Let me see.
Just pop, just like have her popping up places.
You're gonna be first.
Like
I'm gonna be first.
from behind the bushes.
Slim is
Right, right.
Just,
She said she gotta write hers out.
you know what I'm saying? Just like,
Yeah.
I need to find my.
just
thing.
like people behind. Yes, like you don't even be expecting her to be behind the tree. Oh my God, she is so funny. Are we back?
Yo, what's up, beautiful people? Hey, I know we've been having a lot of fun in the studio today, talking about Dexter Jackson's Guide to Dating, which is a great show. However, I have something that I want to talk about today that's pretty serious, and then we can go back to all the festivities. So, you know, you guys, when I'm talking to you on the radio and I'm telling you, like, when I do my segments, like, this is all stuff that I go through, right? When I'm telling you about, like, frequencies, vibrations, and, you know, everything that we talk about, these are things that I actually go through. And sometimes it's hard for me to talk about things that I go through. But I feel like I owe it to, this is what I just realized, okay? It's not about me. All right. So I want to share with you guys something that I recently went through this past week. And just take it for what it is, and we'll chime in. Let me know, your thoughts around it. So this past week was a rough week for me. I was actually pretty down for the majority of the week, and I could not figure out for the life of me like what it was. I had just started this meditation class, transcendental meditation class, and so they finished it up at the top of the week. And the thing about this meditation is what it does is it allows you to go down into your subconscious mind and clear a path to your subconscious mind, so you can kind of see the true you, and it really helps you to release things. Things that you've grown attached to. So it's really a practice of relinquishing your attachment to things and to emotions and to maybe events in your life. And I went through depression. I'm just going to say that word one time, and I'm not going to say it again. So this week I experienced depression. It's not my first time going through it, but I actually did experience it this week. And it was rough, man. It was rough, like with my family. It was rough on me. And but there's some jewels that I got from and I gained from this time period. One thing is, as black men, and this whole thing is really geared to black men, but everyone could benefit. So when I say that, ladies, don't turn your heads or anything, but just keep tuning in, stick with me, roll with me. I know this is long, but roll with me. It's kind of hard for me to talk about. But brothers, depression is real in our community. It's real amongst each other. There are outlets. There are people that we can talk to. There are things that we can do to deal with depression. It's not to be taken lightly. And I know it's like sometimes, we don't feel like we can talk to our women about it because it makes us look weak or whatever it is, whatever stigmas are attached to it. But I do want you to know that you're not weak if you're going through something like this. As a matter of fact, it became clear to me what this actually is and how to deal with it. What this is, this time period where you're down, it's an indication of something. It's an indicator that you're not satisfied with the things that are around you. So for me, there were some things that triggered this that I wasn't satisfied with. And then it just seemed like nothing was satisfying. So I realized, okay, this is just a sign. This is something, these are my emotions telling me to open your eyes and see these things that are around you, and then realize what is it in me that's creating this stuff around me that I'm not satisfied with. And it's hard to look at yourself and say you're not satisfied with yourself, right? But that's something that we have to do. Look in the mirror and take a look at that. Now, this is the purpose of depression. This is what I found in my research, that the most successful people that we look up to, people who are the best at what they do, go through depression. This is not just something for people who are broke or people who have relationship problems or people who don't like themselves or people who've been abused. The people go through this who have succeeded and have accomplished everything that they ever imagined themselves to accomplish, and they still go through it. Mm-hmm. And we see these people, and we revere these people, and then when they do something like commit suicide, we are extremely disappointed in them because we were like, you had the world in your hands, and you did this. So you are not alone, number one, and it happens to the best of us, and we are the best of us. All right? Now, it's important to know what it is. It is an indicator that you are not satisfied with something that is around you, which is emanating from you. Now, when you realize that it is coming from you, that's the hardest shit to deal with. Is the realization that you are creating this environment that you are not satisfied with. Sometimes it's just like a transition period. It's just time for something else. It's time for growth. It's time to shed the things that are not serving you anymore so that you can grab onto things that will take you to the next level in your life. And it's hard to shed those things sometimes because we become attached. We think that these things are important to our identity, and those things are not. Whether it's a bad habit or whether it's a relationship or no matter what it is, some things are meant to be let go of so that we can ride. And so you have to deal with that. This is the empowerment behind this feeling, this emotion, like this. Some people call it it's a diagnosis. This is, I don't want to call it a sickness because I don't believe that that's what it is. I really firmly believe it's an indicator that you have to transition. That it's time to change who you are and become the person that you always knew you could be. Become that person that you know you are on the inside. You are not as far away from that person as you think you are. You are so close. And depression usually hits when you're the closest. Because you can now feel the difference between where you are now and where you want to be. Do not be discouraged. Use that power to elevate and catapult yourself to that person that you know you were made to be. And know that you have the power to do that. That's all it is. It's an indicator to show you are not satisfied and to give you the tools and the clarity that you need in order to move yourself to the next level. Nobody else can do it for you. It is up to you. And when you open yourself up to that, that's when the magic happens. The magic is real. It is real as fuck. I just wanted to give you all that, man. That's something that I dealt with this week. I had to get through it. My wife, she is my rock. There's nobody else that I could talk to. I didn't understand it, so I couldn't even articulate it to her. She couldn't understand it, but she still stood with me through it. And so I just want to thank her. And then Dexter Jackson hit Friday. And then all these people, these beautiful people came and blessed my house on Saturday. And then Sunday, I just rested the whole day and didn't do shit. And Monday, here I am doing some more stuff that I enjoy and I love, and it's elevating me. And it's not gonna always be like that, folks. You know what I mean? Sometimes it takes longer, but it will be like that. Don't give up. Be empowered. Know that it is you and you alone that can change your circumstances because it comes from you. You have to be what it is that you know you were always meant to be. All right, I've talked to y'all long enough. I'm done. I love y'all. You can follow me on Instagram at Daps World or on Facebook at Dap Paxton. If you want to chime in on what I talked about, you know what I'm saying, send me a message, inbox me, whatever, or call in. The number here is 678-648-IBNX, 678-648-4269.
688.
No, it's 678-648. What am I looking at? The
It's
fax
two
number?
different numbers.
Listen.
Oh, that's a listen line. My bad, y'all. 678-688-IBNX, 678-688-4269. And yeah, get at us. I love y'all. Dap out.
All right then.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
I go hard. That's the song. All right. So, my list today, Lord, be with me. Trump,
Oh, man.
you on my list.
I knew it.
They about to impeach your ass. They said it. I saw it. They firing folks. They is telling on you. Your best friends is coming out. what is going on with these people in this Russian thing. I mean, I mean, we all know the truth. That's the crazy thing. They just find the people out the blue. They're like, oh yeah, your best friend said you was talking to the Putin, whatever.
Gluten.
Then they like, oh yeah, we saw your cousin over there talking to him too. Listen, when are y'all going to impeach this man and just kick him out the White House? How many more people going to have to tell him? How many more people we going to have to catch? How much more investigation we going to have to pay on government money?
Right.
That is the question. I mean, people out here trying to get an FHA loan, and we is still trying to find out what's going on with Putin in Russia. So, since I like to, give the questions to y'all, since we got a guest here.
Uh-oh.
Right?
How you feel about what's going on with Trump and them about to impeach him? You think it's going to happen?
How you feel?
Is it going to happen today or tomorrow? What do you think?
I think it is. I think it is going to happen. But I've said ever since the election that Donald Trump is the poster boy for white privilege. I don't care what anybody says. Poster boy. Now, if you take, apples for apples, if Obama had the same resume as Trump, married 3 times, bankruptcy 3 times,
Black?
as an immigrant wife,
Is he going to be black, though?
you don't have to, right?
Right, an immigrant wife
Immigrant
is a porn
wife,
star.
right? Which is right, exactly, porn star. That has charges of sexual harassment. The way he talked about or got him recorded saying those type of things. You think he would have even made it on the ticket, let alone going to the highest point? Commander-in-chief.
Commander-in-chief.
And don't forget, never held a political office whatsoever. Never. And you rise to the highest office in the United States.
No,
with
not
the
even
most power.
rise in and kill it.
Kill it, right.
The game. Like, not literally kill the game. Like, literally kill
I don't care what anybody says.
killing politics, killing America. Everybody dying. I mean, it's going down in a bad way.
When they redo Webster's, they need to put white privilege in the meaning Donald Trump.
I know. Just put like, how do you want to be as a white person, and how can you be doing nothing as a white person? Trump. So as we can see, hopefully impeachment don't come quicker. So next on my list, love and hip hop. Carly B and Offset. They got engaged.
Ooh.
Right. I hate y'all conscious people. Listen now. I'm gonna need y'all to come back to react. Thank you. I'm gonna need you to come back to react. Carly B and Offset, these are the new love. Offset is from the group Migos.
Who?
Raindrops. Drop top.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Cooking up hot top.
I heard that song. I think
You don't know the word.
We came from nothing to something to
Okay.
bad and bougie.
Bad and bougie.
Okay, Offset is not Quavo or the other dude.
yeah, we don't know none of them.
Thank you. Thank you. So Offset got a woman. Offset got a woman. Her name is Carly B. Carly B was on Love and Hip Hop.
We know Cardi
Bodak
B.
Yellow.
B.
Okay.
Right.
Cardi B,
Yeah.
Because her titties was popping out on Instagram. That's why I know
That's
who
why-
she is. That's the only reason why.
She got
Well,
That's why you dating on that show. Because you worried about Carly B.
I ain't worried about it. I just saw titties popping out.
All I'm saying is titty popping out and Offset are now engaged. They're the new Love and Hip Hop. They met each other like earlier this year, maybe like the end of last
So
year.
why they on your list?
Right.
Because they just got engaged. He proposed to her on stage. It was like the most Love and Hip Hop-ish moment of all life. Like if you are a gangster rapper and you're like a gangster rapper female, that's like the best proposal on stage in front of everybody.
All right, so who else is going to be on the knees next
Wait a minute
month?
though, Cardi's not a
It ain't gonna be no NFL players. We see.
You stupid.
But I just want to say, I mean, he asked. So I just had to throw that in there. But Carly B and Offset, I just think it's beautiful that people are honoring marriage. because marriage is a beautiful thing.
I'll give you that.
And the fact that they have looked beyond the fact of this whole
Right.
whatever's
And they
going
found
on,
each
and I
other.
want to be with you,
Right.
and I want to get married, and I want to tell the world and really
How much
do
I
it.
loved you.
And I mean, if it was me, I'd do it too. Like, y'all not excited?
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited because of what you just said, how you brought that together. So
Yeah,
Thank
that
you.
is-
I thought it was
because
cute.
it's the truth.
They're
The people
young.
can find love regardless of what walk of life you take.
Exactly. Even if they don't stay married for long.
No,
You know,
I'm
Don't say
not gonna say
that.
that.
I know,
I'm
right?
gonna say they're gonna make it against the odds. So
But I'm wondering if it's gonna be like another Kim Kardashian that married that what's that basketball player that wasn't.
Yeah, I know he's
Oh.
yeah.
What's his
and
name?
that was over in what 72 hours.
Yeah, I think she wanted to get
72
married
days.
just for a wedding. She wanted a wedding. She didn't
Well,
want.
No,
married.
but
She
this
just
was like her
wanted a wedding.
second wedding.
Right.
I don't think so.
really?
I don't think
Yes,
that's
that was
that's
her
not
second wedding.
personality.
Right. That's not her.
That ain't her personality.
We know.
Oh, I know she was probably surprised
Right.
when
You know
he
her
got on
name.
his knee like, oh, me?
I mean, she's so popular.
You
because
want me?
she's likable.
Right.
She's like that cousin, that ghetto cousin that
Yes.
you have that you
That
really
keep
be
it
rooting
real.
for.
Right, to keep it real.
Yeah, that keep it
Keep it
100
too
with
real.
you. That one that you call when something popping off and then they took
Because
it
you
too
know she
far.
got your back
She
regardless.
Yep, you know she got your back regardless. That's that cousin.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But
She
she
gonna
just
throw the
keep it
bottle.
100 and that's that person that you
Right. So
really
she's not gonna
root
get married for
for.
pretense.
I mean, I really like
If she
her.
like
You
him,
don't think so?
She's not the best
Nah.
lyricist in the
No.
world.
You don't think that
She
was
has a great
married
hook.
for-
If she got
This
a
is-
bomb
this
ghost
is-
writer, she would
No, I
be
think she
out of
really
here.
liked this dude.
But I like her.
No,
I mean,
but-
because
Marriage is
like
big.
the whole publicity thing behind. I mean,
I don't think
I
it's
don't know
publicity.
who she is. I've seen I've seen her popularity
Snippets.
rise
Right.
because of public acts.
yeah.
And so I'm just kind of wondering.
I think they met and they really like each other. Only the reason why I think that's because when I watched her on Love and Hip Hop,
Mhm.
her boyfriend at the time was in jail,
And
and
she
she
was
was
faithful.
really faithful to him
Mhm.
and promoting. And she had a picture of him. He actually looked like Offset.
She won't know.
So the fact that
So
she
he might be a
found,
jump off.
I know the fact that she found somebody that's not in jail with a job, paying taxes, and good credit. Good for her, in my
How you
opinion.
know all that about him?
How
How
you
you
know
know he got
been
good credit?
researching Offset? What's his stuff?
Right.
Did you run his credit? You work for Experian? Are you the one who hacked in?
Yep, I'm working
she's
with
doing it.
TransUnion, Experian, all
She
of
do
them.
a
Trust
lot.
me,
She gonna know some
I
stuff.
am, and trust me, she got a good one. He got a good one,
That's cool.
and I
So
just
just
want
be
to.
happy.
I'm just
That's
excited
good.
for
Yeah.
their little black love because I'm excited for any type of black love. I'm rooting for everybody black. I'm just saying.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it's.
So-
Somebody's gonna say, all right,
Like, let's
I want
go.
everybody black to win.
Of
Everybody,
course you do.
marriagely,
Yeah.
financially,
Yeah.
Think of the word
lovely.
every week.
Yeah.
Every week, marriage league.
Marriage
That's what's up, man.
You know, so moving
I dig
on
that.
to the
Yeah.
last thing on my list.
So black love.
Yes, black love. Congrats
And-
to all
and-
y'all folks.
Hand clap.
He like,
You like slow
Hallelujah,
clap?
black
It's a
love.
slow clap. Like,
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
marriage league. So another thing I want to talk about on my list, and this is, shouts out to Halloween being tomorrow, and the Halloween costume contest that's coming up, and everybody. And I just want all the hoes out there dressing like hoes to stop acting like you're doing something different.
Is she really just saying
Put on some clothes for Halloween.
why?
Shock us.
Shock us.
Shaka. Oh, okay, I get it.
Shock us.
You came as a decent person.
Oh my God, look at Jesus.
I would have never thought
Literally on
about
the
you
cross.
being decent.
I'll take a Jesus costume on the cross. Give
With a
us
cross.
something on the cross.
Just walking down the street.
Give us something
Other
this
than
year.
hope.
A shocker. I don't want to see a cat.
Uh.
I don't want to see a mouse. I don't want to see a Playboy bunny. I don't want to see any
Nurse?
type of bunny.
A nurse.
I don't want to see a
Not
nurse.
the
A French
sexy
maid?
nerd.
A French
Not the
maid.
sexy nerd.
Anybody in some go-go boots, on a go-go pole, stripper, hippie, hipper, anything that coexists with anything with some ears
Or a
that's
tail.
sexy or a tail that's sexy. Oh, ass out, shorts, belly top, back out. I mean, no, listen, just come out naked. Just put the paint on. Just put the paint on over the
No.
titties and ass.
That's the
and just keep it
Caribbean
like that.
festival.
But I'm just saying, no, just give us what we want and then give us the real costume. I want to see like some crazy stuff.
Let's
see Bugs Bunny, the whole suit with the ears. Like
the whole suit.
You know what I'm saying?
You just said no ears.
No, the head. No, give me the head and the ear. That's not the ear.
I'm with you on that.
Give me the Michael Jackson when he went into that room and he came out with two fat niggas. Give me a oh my God, you were not playing. You went all out. Because you didn't go all out with the same bunnies you've been wearing for the past 5 years. Because I know chicks that do that. They got the same costume they done wore for about at least 11 years. And y'all want to be like, yeah, keep bringing it out. No, put it up. Stop buying it. Give me a nun suit, the fully real nun suit. Give me some costumes. Give us something to judge.
You said trick me.
Look, trick me. Let me be like, oh.
I ain't know that was you.
She performed on that costume. Thank you. Not no bull. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the Jaguar, the Chia Pet, the Chia, all of it.
I ain't never seen no Chia Pet.
The Chia. But I'm gonna call it Chia Pet. But you know what I'm saying? I don't want to see nothing bodysuitish. Don't put on the bodysuit and some ears and the tail talking about you got a costume. That's not a costume. You put that together.
They work hard on their body all year round. Just for this day.
Creativity. Come out with the Lil' Kim and the titty out. Show me something
I'm good with
that make me be like,
that's a whole costume.
That is a whole
but
she like be a whole cake.
Be a real hoe. You gonna be a hoe now. You know,
full circle.
Don't know ears. Give me the costume that be like, okay.
You just saying don't
that whole pay for that.
You just saying don't come out with a cheap costume.
No.
Don't come out looking.
So Joy, what you're saying is that I can't wear my bunny ears that I always wear. That's all I wear is the bunny ears.
No,
that's all.
No, but
she clearly said no.
If you clearly are fully dressed,
no, I ain't fully. No, I'm like this, but I just
and put the ears on. Well, listen, you're just being festive.
Okay,
that's one thing. Okay. Festive is one thing,
but
to come out there with a costume like legitly like standing up on the stage like I'm here for the costume party, and you put something together with just like some black shorts, a black tank top, and some ears and a tail, and make your face up like, no, I'm really here, in some boots. That's no, stop it. Stop it. Get an emoji suit and just cover all that with the face. I'm just saying, let's be creative. Get you a box and be trap music, trap house. Like, show us some creative. Get you a big box and be like, I'm an iPhone. You know, like, let's switch it up. Let's show us our creativity with black people. Be a pyramid.
Like Kim was like, a box. A box.
Yes, you remember she came with a box of milk carton and she was the back.
She was the missing face.
Yeah, that was tight. I said
that was hilarious.
I said you went and bought that.
She came with a box of milk and she was in the back
talking about missing. I said if they decide not to pick you, I'm gonna give you $50 because you did that. And that's what I'm talking about.
That's originality. Yeah.
Nah, somebody else had on the whole bacon costume.
Yeah, somebody was a piece.
Look like somebody like people.
Whack.
No, right. I'm just saying people come. I'm just saying be creative.
Dexter.
And what about
the most muscular guy?
He came in with a whole. He was Caitlyn Jenner before Caitlyn Jenner.
For episode 1.
Oh, he really came with the wigs all big and
looking
muscular,
like Bruce Jenner.
And it was like we
were just surprised that he came in.
But
this guy at our job.
A guy at our job. And I'm telling you, if you're gonna be creative, I want you to be that creative. Let people be like, you deserve
a break today.
You are Halloween. This other stuff is not Halloween. And on that note, we're gonna end. That's all on my list. Let's just stay woke and stay prayed up.
For Halloween.
On Halloween, because the gooses and goblins is gonna be out tomorrow night. So
you're so stupid.
I just don't even know how to follow up with that one. Lord Jesus have mercy. All right. So today, I just want to talk to the other people who are making films, and I also want to talk to, well, I want to talk to the other people who are making Black films, and I want to talk to the Black people who are making Black films. So whether you know it or not, when it comes to making films about iconic Black people, yeah, the color of their skin matters. It matters. Is significant because you cannot have a brown skinned short dude playing Thurgood Marshall. I love Chadwick. Chadwick, I love you. Boo, I love you. 42, you did that. You're a wonderful, amazing actor. However, yeah, no, baby, you want Thurgood Marshall.
Dang.
I did not like the film, and I love film. What? I did not like it. It did not do him justice.
Dang.
Thurgood Marshall, you have to think about the time in which Thurgood Marshall was working and was doing his thing. A dark-skinned brother he might have gotten to the place that Thurgood Marshall got to, but I don't think so. Other people tend to think that the lighter-skinned Black man and even the lighter-skinned Black woman are a little less non-threatening. Really? Even if their hair is out like this, a light-skinned sister with the wavy hair or the ringlets or the wavy hair or the straight hair is a little less non-threatening than someone like me, and I'm not as big of a threat as like maybe my sister who is darker skinned. And not only does what happened? So not only does the color of the skin matter, especially in a period piece, but hello, can y'all hear me out there? There are tons of actors of color, and we go from like really pink with blue eyes and blonde hair, yet we're Black, to Black as midnight and every shade in between. And there are some phenomenal actors in every shade of color. Mm-hmm. They could play those roles. You don't have to recycle us. We don't have to be
for the same old stuff,
right? But we don't have to be recycled. It's plenty of work, and there are plenty of us that can do these parts. But I'm gonna turn it over to Sean right quick. Go ahead, Sean.
Well, no, you said something that was very relevant, and the fact that the Academy will probably look at him and think he did a great job, and no, seriously, because again, we're looking at the fact that they wrote a story from their perspective. And their perspective completely negated the fact that there was white privilege at that time. That we had to choose Rosa Parks. She wasn't the first Black person to sit down on the bus, but she was the first light-skinned, non-threatening employee, no children. She was selected by the SCLC to go sit on that bus. So Thurgood Marshall, in kind, was selected in so many words by the white people at that time because he was less intimidating. His hair was not nappy. Was there
Black judges around that time?
No,
he wasn't a judge.
He was of fair complexion, and so he was passing in society for a lot of. He was, as you said, less intimidating, and you're absolutely right. Someone as dark as he would not have been able to even cross half of those barriers. He would have been called out of his name. Slandered, probably put in jail for saying as much as Thurgood Marshall got away with saying. Right. So you're absolutely right. But it will resonate differently with different crowds because, honestly speaking, Black people are going to get it from that angle.
No,
the people who are going to vote on the Academy Awards.
That's what they're saying.
They're not going to.
Right.
They may still give him the award because they don't know that perspective.
Okay. With that being said, what's your thoughts on the difficulties and so forth that Sidney Poitier had during those times?
Being the darkest
one. And he excelled so well within the industry.
He excelled.
And Wesley Snipes.
But no.
Nah, that don't count.
I think Sidney excelled because he played the roles that they wanted him to.
he was the strong black defiant man in everything that he played. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? Raisin in the Sun. He kept that one personification of that same character through each one of his roles. But he still wasn't belligerent. He still wasn't threatening. He still wasn't. He was just a strong but silent. You know, he was articulate.
He was a civil rights activist. He was him, Harry Belafonte, and a whole bunch of them were doing a lot. But my point is that there are so many of us. We're a very diverse group of people. And Thurgood Marshall, that black people did that film. And the Jewish white guy in the film, he stole the film. His storyline was amazing, and it kind of overshadowed Thurgood Marshall. And I don't understand why they took it from like this particular trial. And then my boy was in it from This Is Us, the black guy from This Is Us. I can't think of his name.
I know you talk about the
brother. He was in it. Did an amazing job, but the film just did not do justice. Like the way Ava DuVernay told the story about Selma and the perspective that she gave for Martin Luther King was wonderful because we had never seen him in that light before. I feel they should have gave her the script and let her rewrite it and put her zhuzh on there because it was just not a good film. It wasn't a good film. It wasn't a good story. I didn't like it. I really hate the fact that they're always taking other people and having them to play these iconic characters. Like you cannot have a Zoe Saldana play Nina Simone. You cannot.
Okay, hold on. I gotta chime in. I have to chime in on this. Please let me chime in. The brother's name is Sterling Brown.
Yes, Sterling.
Who's a phenomenal actor. I think Chadwick did an excellent job as Thurgood Marshall. In my opinion, I went to go see it. My wife and I went to go see it. I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was very well done. I feel like, it was, I did wonder why they chose this particular trial as opposed to Brown versus the Board of Education, which was a more, well-known and relevant to what's going on today, more well-known trial.
Right.
But I thought it was interesting that they did take this, which is a lesser-known trial, and it shed some light on who Thurgood Marshall was. I think Chadwick did a good job. I think that is very narrow-minded for us to think that one shade of person, a person has to look close to another person in order for that role to be carried out or the story to be told. It's a story that needs to be told.
Yeah, the story.
And so wait. Well, I mean,
it's not even about.
Okay, we can talk about.
It's not about
I wasn't quite finished. I wasn't quite finished.
Let that finish.
Yeah, because y'all, you said the piece. So I just, I don't necessarily agree. Yes, I do agree that there are an abundance of actors, out there that could have told this story and played this role very well. They chose Chadwick. I also think his storyline, there were some things that I thought was a little shaky, like the scene with him and like Zora Neale Hurston, and like that wasn't really. I think they just threw that in, right. Wow. So I could sense that. But everything else, man, like I felt like he was depicted as a very strong-willed, very proud individual. You see, and that's the thing, man. That's the thing. I wish people would focus more on the strength of that man and that character and the story that was told, as opposed to his skin color and how he didn't look like Thurgood Marshall. Because what that showed was a black man who stood for something, who did not bow down to anyone for any reason. And I thought that was a powerful message that they put in that movie. That was very strong in that movie. That was a powerful message. And I just feel like to focus on that, you just missed the whole point. Wait.
Different point of views. Because you're probably coming from a point of view as a black man.
Even with like, I understood. I know Thurgood Marshall was light skinned. I've seen pictures of Thurgood Marshall. So what? every black man had to overcome obstacles. Just because he was light
Light skin
skinned,
don't mean
because Martin Luther King Jr. was not light skinned, and he still excelled.
You think because
during
you
that
light
time
skinned, you
period.
get away with more stuff?
No, I'm saying
I'm talking about the period.
There were people who would of darker skin during that period who excelled and who made monumental changes during that period. We can't ignore that. And so the other thing, like Zoe Saldana, everybody made a big deal about her playing Nina Simone, and she did an excellent job playing Nina Simone. She played Avatar. She
was green in one movie and painted her black in this movie.
And so, but she did an excellent job with, and I don't care what nobody else think. She did a great job depicting Nina Simone. Just because she's not dark skinned doesn't mean that she can't play that role. Now, if she can tell the story better than any other actress,
but she can't. But that's the point. She can't. My thing is, I'm sorry, as a person of color. As a person of color, when you're depicting people, when you are depicting people of color, you need to stay true to that person. You need to stay true to that person. Nina Simone was rolling over in her grave because of the things that she stood for as a dark-skinned person.
Her story was
there are issues there. It matters. It matters. It matters.
And it does matter. Let me ask you this. Jesus.
And Idris Elvis played Mandela, and when nobody complaining about that.
His dark skin self.
Exactly.
The movie that Mel Gibson did about Passion of Christ, right?
Oh.
You've seen that movie, right?
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
A lot of people have, right?
Yeah.
But the man that played Christ in that, do you believe that was actually Christ through the story there? Does he look anything like Christ?
First of all, no one knows who Christ looked like, but we all know that he was black.
He was like Jesus.
Exactly.
Everybody knows he was black.
Right. In Africa, there's no white folks out in Africa.
Right. But that's different.
And I had an issue with
because
that
those are white people depicting black people, and see, but that's a psychological, that's a psychological.
No, that's how white
but that's how I
religion.
feel. But that's how I feel
like
when they're making these films about us. That they want to use someone more non-threatening or have Harriet Tubman or Sojourner Truth be high yellow instead of the black and show somebody powerful and black and beautiful. In one of them Lincoln movies, Sojourner or Harriet Tubman was a light-skinned chick.
Me personally,
and I'm sorry, I have a problem with that. If you're going to show somebody from my history, make it true to the story. Make it true.
You
make
gotta
it truthful.
Be
honest with it. But the other issue is that I have is there are too many of us. There are too many of us out here in all shades of brown to pink to dark skin that you don't have to recycle us. Please stop recycling us. And the other thing is there are a lot of talented people in different shades. I personally would have felt better if you would have depicted him true to who he was, if you would have depicted Nina Simone true to who she was. Yeah, it could have been a great story. She could have been a great. Zoe is a wonderful actress. But there are parts for you, and you can always get work because of how you look. Sorry to say it, you can always get work because she's an amazing actor and she's absolutely beautiful. Amazing actress, and she's beautiful.
She said she's not black.
But she black. But she can get work. She can get work. The way
ain't nobody was good.
My point is, my point is,
I know, right?
I'm just saying.
It's some black people.
We just need to allow. There's plenty of opportunities for all of us. When you're depicting my people, please be truthful in depicting my people, especially the darker skin of us. Please depict us correctly. Especially when you're telling a historical.
But you gotta look at
history.
If Thurgood was light skinned, but you
a prime example of a great depiction of a person in the movie, in my opinion, is when Don Cheadle played Miles Davis.
Man.
Yes.
Man.
Yes.
That was on point.
Exactly.
That was too good.
Exactly.
But Don Cheadle's a great actor.
And
you
that's
said
what I'm
that
talking about.
one has nothing to do with the other.
It does.
It does though. He's a brown skinned man from that
Hotel Rwanda like nobody else. Look, I'm just saying.
He's amazing.
Great actors. If we're talking about great actors and skin color. It's not the
Right.
same.
No,
It is the same.
it came
Miles
together.
Davis, it came
It
together
came together.
perfectly.
A great actor,
Exactly.
the skin,
Right.
depicting the
Exactly.
person.
Okay,
Or
so
the
But
same
you're
with,
not
like-
probably gonna always find that. The light skinned brother probably read the lines better than the dark skinned brother.
well, first,
or vice
first of
versa.
all, Don Cheadle produced the Miles Ahead, and he produced that. He directed it and produced it.
Oh, so he
And
put
so
himself on
that was
that.
his movie anyway, and he knew he was gonna play Miles Davis, and it was off.
They probably
Awesome.
tell me
And he
look like
probably,
Yeah, I mean, he does.
But Don
look a lot
Cheadle is
like-
a beast anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But
He is.
Chadwick
That's one of my
Boseman
favorite
He
is
is
too.
too.
And
He
so all
is.
I'm saying is this: we get caught up in aesthetics.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And we get so caught up in aesthetics. I understand getting caught up. I understand, wanting to have a visual and it has to be perfect like I like it. You know what I'm saying? Like it has to be like I like it. You know what I mean? But however, you know what I'm saying? Like we focus so much on that bullshit, man. And I'm just saying aesthetics is okay, but listen, the story was told. The story was told well. So what? Chadwick Boseman, okay, he's darker complected. Thurgood Marshall was light skinned. You know what I mean? Zoe Saldana had to get blackface for Nina Simone.
She did.
You know what I mean?
Chocolatey.
But the fact of the matter is, these people are our heroes, and their story was still upheld.
And
So
she was
we gonna
playing her
complain
role.
about the story that never been told before,
Yes.
that's finally told,
And she was
and
playing her
we get to
role.
know, like another generation is exposed to
They
this
not gonna
individual.
know, that
You know
was-
what I
Okay, let me ask you this then. All right, since we talked about color, all right, we had two different actors, both light skinned, played the same role. All right, who did the better job? All right, and Ali. Okay, Will Smith played Ali in
Right.
the movie, but also there was another movie about Ali that
Was it Anthony?
no from this on Empire
I don't know.
the lead
I know
in
you're talking
Empire.
about-
The lead actor in Empire.
Not Terrence Howard.
Yeah, Terrence Howard. He played a movie of Ali also. He did a.
Because he did.
Oh, yeah, it was like
for television.
It was for television
Right.
version.
To me, you had two light skinned brothers now
Right.
playing Ali.
I
You
like
know,
At that point, it boils down to who can act better.
Right. And my
And who
idea
was more convincing.
Will Smith.
Will Smith.
I like
did an
Will.
outstanding job.
I like Will.
I mean,
But-
So that
but-
takes away color right there.
Let me-
you have both
let me-
people that was light skinned playing a
I
light
think it
skinned
probably also has
Yeah.
a lot to do with who put the story
Right, who
together,
produced
and that's
it,
what you just
what's
said
behind
that I
it.
never thought about when you said some black people put this story together and you didn't like it. Maybe they were from
They were
somewhere maybe they were from somewhere that was
Well,
surprised
that's
that
about
he even took the role.
Right.
Maybe they
It's a
put the
marketable
offer out
actor.
to 4 or 5
Let's bring
different
it in.
big
Let's bring it in.
actors,
Bring it in.
Very
and the
quickly.
fact that he took the role, they went with him.
Right, they went
the
with him
story,
for the
they
star
wanted
power.
the story to be told. Maybe they,
They
had
went with
4
him
or
for the
5
star
different.
power.
Exactly.
And it was told he
And
did a
it
good
came
job.
together.
Now I'm gonna call bullshit. I'm gonna call bullshit on y'all, right? I'm gonna call bullshit, and this is how. Denzel Washington played Malcolm X. Did nobody complain about his skin complexion?
That's true.
Malcolm X was light
Light-skinned he
skinned,
was.
and Denzel Washington is not.
But that's
And he played the
Denzel.
hell out of that role.
He did.
You know what I'm saying?
That's Denzel.
So that's all I'm saying. So if you gonna complain about and I'm saying nobody else was bold enough to tell that story, and Spike Lee
I
did
think
it,
he-
and nobody complained about it, and nobody else was bold enough to tell Thurgood Marshall's story. His story is told.
That's
Who
true.
cares about what skin complexion he looked like on the screen? Who cares about that? The story was told. So that's my point. Y'all can.
Well, maybe
think
it
whatever
was
you
it
wanna
was the bad story.
And
not
another
just
thing,
whatever.
how many Michael Jackson movies has been out?
Denzel embodied
I just
Malcolm
named
X.
about 4 or 5 people.
So go
that's
ahead,
not
Sean.
Michael Jackson color.
Question.
Okay.
I just want to lighten up the conversation.
It's Joyce, Michael.
Combine it all.
I was gonna say, and they had about 3 made-for-TV movies.
Just let it
None of
go.
them was
Just
light
fade it
skinned.
out slowly.
One was white.
She's not even here anymore.
One was light.
Okay, now if everybody out there can open their eyes and become conscious, Joy has left the room. But I understand what both of you are saying, and I actually appreciate you for bringing this to the light. And some people will view the movie differently based on just that, because honestly, it is a distraction if you know and follow Thurgood Marshall. I don't think it was a distraction with the story of Malcolm X because of the fact that actor did carry that role over so well. Not saying that he didn't carry this role over as well, but I think in his case, and this is just my opinion, I could be wrong. You'll tell me about it after we go to commercial. But I think that in his case, his skin color played a significant role in his success. So to sideline, are you chewing into the mic?
Yeah.
You can hear that?
Yes. Is that Annihilator?
I knew you were starting to take that away.
Right,
though.
right. But I think that it was important. I think that was a staple as to who he was. So in this instance, by not honoring his skin tone in this instance, that's just like doing the movie The Imitation of Life over and putting a dark skinned girl as the half. You can't do that because it was the skin color that made such a prevalent difference in that person's life.
Right.
And you can't say that he didn't get preferential judgment or preferential treatment based on how he looked in the room compared to everybody else. He wasn't the person that stood out because his skin color was just like everybody else. His hair was just like everybody else. So even though there was a black man in the room, they were comfortable enough to talk about what they wanted to.
No,
just like, honestly speaking, if they did the story of Barack Obama and let Idris play his role, I don't care how good. Right. Because skin color plays a role. And I'm just saying, it just makes a difference.
It plays a role because we know that
we're happy that they did this story. We're happy that they finally went back and reflected and applauded this struggle in one man's life that led to so many being successful. But there are certain things that you cannot sideline. It's skin color in this instance.
With all them people playing Mandela. Get out of here.
Right. So we're going to wrap this part of the session up. And when we come back, we're going to close out by asking our guests a few more questions around getting on stage and whether or not skin color matters. But anyway.
And this was your girl, Autumn Monroe.
And yeah, let's do that.
Leaves of Knowledge falling down on me. And you can reach me on my social media at Miss Autumn Monroe, and that's MISSAUTUMNMONROE on Facebook and Instagram, and Autumn Monroe on Twitter, AUTUMNMONROE, and on Snapchat, The Autumn Monroe. Woohoo!
Holla at your girl.
AUTUMNMONROE. Holla at your girl.
And right now, this is Novel, a local artist who came from Fayetteville, North Carolina when I was writing my first magazine. You're listening to Novel and his compilation with Chrisette Michelle. This is called Wonderful. Stay with me.
Nice.
I hear you like it's WBLS in New York. That was like,
you know what I'm saying?
It's like having a movie Roots without Chicken George.
Right, having a bunch of light-skinned people play the slaves when they first get over the Africans. Come on now.
On the slave trip. It's not the same.
What's up, people?
And see, first of all, I don't think Thurgood Marshall was shown preferential treatment because he was light-skinned. I wasn't there, so I don't know. But I mean, he could not go to the same law school. He had to go to Howard University.
Right.
But if he still had the white straight on the ladder.
And I say that because I have family members.
Dexter Jackson died.
That movie. You was
Dexter
that. Okay,
died
I'll say
too, baby. I'm just saying
It
that.
was another movie.
What we hear right now on NX Radio.
It was
I got my boy Cat Gap leading the movie over here tonight. And we are doing our thing. Make sure you go out. When you watch it, make sure you comment and give us a rating. Give us a star. 5 stars. If you enjoy it, it's absolutely funny. You need to check out this comment. 6 episodes. Dexter Jackson, down guide to dating. We're doing it big.
I didn't like the writing. I didn't like it.
But I was
I didn't like it at all.
because Trump to me is just a distraction. Trump is a distraction.
I agree.
Because once the Republicans realized that they weren't going to win with the person they wanted, they devised a plan to put the person that they didn't want in. So while we busy watching him act the fool, they over here doing everything they wanted to do. They have dismantled everything Obama did, and they just making it sound like Trump did, and Trump has no idea how to undo it.
Trump like shit.
He can't undo it on his own. It takes Congress. It takes the people behind him. So he's our distraction. We so worried about what he tweets
You remember that
that you're not
video
over
I
here
showed
realizing
you?
that they just
All the shit they dismantled?
It was like everything was like.
they've undone more than a dozen.
What's up, Sheila? How you doing, man?
Remember it was like
Thank you, Sharon. Miss Thank you.
They was not a
It was like such
Thurgood Marshall.
Done.
no more.
Like
Over.
movie for Thurgood
Over.
Marshall.
Chiming in, yo.
All they do is put paper in front of him.
What's up, Keith?
Okay.
Lake View. How you
Now go back to
doing?
China.
What's up, man?
This guy. You know,
Because they've run the
you were
crooked
rooting
country
for the white
hundreds
dude
of years.
because he
They're
wasn't
better at our
established.
game than we
He
are.
had everything stacked against him, and that's what they showed in the movie. And so you was rooting for the white dude.
Right. It was more of a film for the white guy to me than it was
Every black film
for
is.
Thurgood. It was more of a movie about
Every
the
black
Jewish
film
guy.
is. Look at Invictus.
I don't think it was more
About the football
to me.
player. No.
Yeah,
Look at was that Invictus?
No, Invictus was about
That-
a soccer team in South Africa.
Right, but it was about South
Concussions
Africans,
about football.
but it was about Matt Damon. You look at the movie
Right.
that was about the football player, but it was about Sandra Bullock.
Oh,
You look at the
okay.
movie, but
Yeah.
it,
No,
it's
whenever you
always
have a
about
black
the white
man-
hero.
Whenever you have a black man
Right.
in a film, then that's my I don't think we talked about that. But yeah, that was my point about black men not having a voice or platform in television and film. Every black man, every black role that's written, that character is very one-dimensional or two-dimensional,
Right.
with the exception of this.
But
Is
that's
Us.
because again, it's written by someone else about us, so all they have is a very negative
Even if
perspective.
it's written by, and see, here's the other thing though. Most of the writing rooms, if there's a black person, it's a black woman. And so still it's not like
Because they still want to subconsciously put the black woman in control
Well,
to
it's-
undermine who the black man is.
And it's
You
more
can't
about-
have a strong black man in society.
it's more about
Well,
undermining
you can only
Because
have
if
one
we-
at a time
right.
on TV.
Right,
Tell me
'cause-
that just a little
right.
bit.
Even with strong black families, they get rid of the male first.
Right.
Look
Yeah,
at Good Time.
immediately.
James, you too
And so,
strong.
but that's the
You
thing.
too
That's
much of a
what
leader. We
that's
gotta
the
get
thing
rid
that
of you.
I want black women to understand that it's less so about putting them in charge and more so about undermining the black family.
Right.
You
Right.
know? And so
But us black
'Cause
women
with
need
you
to
in
become
charge-
smart and realize
That's
that's what y'all want to do this family.
Because with a woman,
Instead of this
because a
black
woman in
shit
charge,
stuff.
manipulation is easier. Sorry.
But you just
It
heard
is.
what
What
I
do you
just
mean?
said.
Who
Us
being
women
manipulated?
gotta realize
Women be
where
We're on
our
the air.
trust comes from,
Has she been drinking?
and that's from the black man.
All right, everybody.
For real, we need to put trust back.
Thank
in
you,
the black
everybody.
man.
We are back with Uncle Sean and the Conscious Party. I just wanted to
Yes,
let
it
you
is.
know that was from Novel Stevenson and Chrisette Michelle. That was called Wonderful. So if you know of Novel, let them know we're playing his music for the second or third week on the show now. And his mom, Melanie Burke, is out there singing as well. She sang at my anniversary for my magazine, Floyd the People. You know, it's awesome. Melody. How you doing? Melody? Yeah, okay. But and she's the daughter of Solomon Burke. So the entire Burke family is just great musicians, and Ephraim Burke is out there singing as well. So it's just a lot of people out there singing, and we want to applaud them for their talent and what they bring to the stage. Now, speaking of bringing things to the stage, again, we are joined tonight by Bernard McCoy. That's McKoy, and our own Dap Paxton, and they have there are two actors in a phenomenal new miniseries on Amazon Prime called Dexter Jackson's Guide to Dating, and it's where you take a quick comedic look at 6 dates that a young single man in Atlanta takes while trying to determine who's gonna be his new boo. So even though the boo has picked herself out, and we're looking forward to the second season where we get to see our favorite actress, Misty Paxton. I saw you out there. Come to the screen and show herself off. I didn't know she was an actress, but that made me laugh so hard. And I'm serious. The two of y'all couldn't even hide it on screen, trying to play like you didn't like each other. And I'm like, everybody know that's your wife. Everybody know that's your wife.
You know, the funny thing is that's how we met. We met
Acting.
Yeah, so
Beautiful.
she's a dope actress. Yeah, she really is.
She had me crying.
Yeah.
I believe she's a stalker.
Yeah. She played that a little too well.
Okay.
You know, we role playing.
Y'all role play in the house.
She played the stalker. I played the victim.
Oh, see, you left the window open.
Again.
I'm done. But Dap, since you have the mic, go ahead and let us know a little bit more about the series and how they can get it and what they can get it on, and let them know it's free. And
So
all that
yeah,
good
man,
stuff.
Amazon.com, and it's on there for a limited time. So after it's pulled down from Amazon Prime, then it's gonna be set up a little bit different.
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna be free, and then it's gonna be like released like one episode at a time. It's gonna be released.
Okay.
So you better get it in now.
Is that going to be on Amazon? still?
I don't know yet. I don't know. So, but when I do find out, you guys will be the first to know.
So,
I'm Prime.
I was about to say, I got Amazon Prime.
I got Prime.
Just
Yeah,
go
just search
just watch it.
for Dexter
Yeah.
Jackson. So if you have Amazon, you don't even have to be an Amazon Prime member
Nope.
But you can go to Amazon.com and just do a search for Dexter Jackson. Dexter Jackson's Guide to Dating, and it'll pop up right there.
Right there.
What if you got
It'll pop up right there.
Know anything about
Same
that?
thing. Same thing.
Just put in the search.
Just do a search.
But you have to put Dexter Jackson's Guide to Dating. There's no put because Dexter comes up if you just put Dexter.
All type of Dexters.
Yeah,
Right.
that too.
You want Dexter
But
Jackson,
you want Dexter
shout it.
Jackson's Guide to
You want that
And
real deal. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but I know Bernard just type in Dexter Jackson. That comes up.
That's all I got. That's all I typed in.
Yeah.
And just as long as you're on the Amazon.com website.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, you can watch it. So you can watch it on your computer. You can watch it on your
On
TV.
your
Okay, TV,
on
phone,
the
yeah.
Kindle. On
And make sure, too, that you put a review down there and
Yeah,
that you
that's
rate
what
I'm
it.
gonna have to put a
So
review
Right
on
now,
the thing.
last time I checked, we have 5 stars, and it's being watched like worldwide, which is really dope.
Mhm.
But yeah, so Dexter Jackson's Guide to Dating is about this newly divorced guy, Dexter, who is now in the dating scene, and he is having a hard time.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And,
That is.
And Bernard over here, who's also in the studio with us, you've been hearing him all night. He plays my father, Mr. Jackson. If you're nasty.
Yeah, right. Got to be.
Yeah, man, which is pretty funny.
So, have they started talking about a season 2?
Yes, they have.
Yes, already start talking about season 2.
Good.
It should be sometime next year, but I don't want to say exactly when because I'm not sure myself. But I know it's coming though. Okay. Trust me, it's coming. Season 2.
Bobby and Renee, I want to be a girlfriend. Just put that out there in the universe.
You got to speak it into existence.
Right.
But everybody, again, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight.
Yes, thank
Uncle
you.
Sean and the Conscious Party.
Yeah.
Our guest tonight, Bernard McCoy, McKoy, and try to follow him on all the social medias. You have the beautiful Miss Autumn Monroe. Just Google MISSAUTUMNMONROE. Holla at your girl. She's on social media as well. You got Daps World on Instagram, and just JOILEAH. That's Joy Leah. You can follow her on Instagram and Twitter. You know I'm old. You know that Instabook. And on my Instabook, you can look up Sean C. Robinson, SEANCROBINSON. But if you want to follow all of us at the same time and just join the antics, just come to Conscious Party on Instagram. But until next week, we're gonna ask everybody to do us a favor. Stay woke. Have a good night.
Getting early tonight. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Oh man. He's like, y'all.
Man, appreciate you, man.
Cut it off.
Now you gotta come over here and take a picture.
Oh, most definitely.
Hope y'all enjoyed the show. Hey, cousin Robert. Hey, Hattie. I'm so glad y'all was here.
Appreciate y'all for all
Hey,
y'all
Amy.
Your battery is full.
Zelda. Hey,
Hey,
Terry. Hey, Kim. Thank y'all so much for watching. I so appreciate it. I made it back from New York safely, as you all can see. And remember, Dexter Jackson's Guide to Dating. Hilarious. If you need to laugh, watch that. Amazon.com. Bye. Love y'all. See you next Monday.
6 episodes. All right.